afternoon or good evening. Um, Today is the 14th of September and it's a very special day for us. We are doing live for the first time from the Avino Baby India page, and joining me is a very special lady. She's a mom of two and a pediatrician, Dr. Chaya Shah, who is going to be helping us understand and deep dive into what is atopic dermatitis, also which is known as eczema. Welcome, doctor.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
How are you?
Glad to be a part of this live.
Appreciate it, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining. Ma'am, I was just telling everyone that today is World Atopic Eczema Day. As mothers, I know it is very tough when you realize that your child has been diagnosed with a condition like eczema. So today I just wanted to ask you a few questions and hopefully, make sure that the parents who are joining us today are also, educated, relieved, if not anything else, and, just have a support from us and from you that everything's going to be okay. So my first question to you is basically, can you tell us what exactly is atopic dermatitis and how does it show up on a baby's sensitive skin?
Okay, so atopic dermatitis is a allergic condition. So it's a form of eczema and that occurs in children as well as in adults, but more so in children. Now it presents itself with a red skin, an itchy skin, a dry skin. The itch is so severe that it is said that if there is no itch, you have to cross question your diagnosis of atopic dermatitis. That is the way we are taught. So it presents it starts very early in childhood and it can present even just a few days or a few months of birth. And what it presents itself is like the baby would have dry skin, the red skin or the itchy skin. It starts on the cheek first. Why does it start on cheeks first? It's because the young babies breastfeed, and that is the friction that they receive on their cheeks with the mother's breast. And that friction damages the skin a little bit, and that can cause itchiness and redness in that area. So it starts with itchiness and the redness on the cheeks. It also is there on the scalp and the forehead. And then as the child grows, it progresses to other parts of the body as well. So as the child starts rolling over and crawling, it can present with the same symptoms on the back of the elbows, on the front of the knees. Then as the child grows into a toddlerhood or even further, it can present itself with the same symptoms again, but in the folds of the skin, like in the elbows, in the back of the knees, in the front of the wrist, or even in front of the ankles. And these are the various presentations that can occur. So it's not just red, itchy and dry skin, but if there is a lot of itch, the baby keeps on scratching a little bit more, then there can be even blistering or oozing of fluid, and sometimes it can even get infected.
Oh, wow. Ma'am, I just have another question. So what does it really look like? Can you just
So the
explain?
skin, the skin would initially look very dry. So dryness can actually be made out with the naked eye. And then once a little bit of redness sets in and the child feels that itch, because there are those chemicals released in the skin that cause the itch. Once the child starts itching, there are cells in the skin that release certain chemicals that cause even more itch, so that its cycle keeps going on. It's a vicious cycle, and then the skin looks red, it looks dry, it looks sometimes it will have blisters, sometimes it will have pus oozing from the blisters. And because of the scratching, there are actually normal healthy bacteria that are present on the skin. Because you scratch, already there is a defect in the skin, the defect increases and those healthy bacteria enter inside the skin and can cause infection. Normally these bacteria are healthy, but once they enter the skin, they can cause infection. So those infection would look like yellow crust or oozing taking place, yellow fluid oozing over. You can even have fever sometimes if you have eczema.
Oh, wow. Ma'am, can you tell us what are the causes that can cause atopic dermatitis in kids?
Yeah, so it's a mix of both genetic as well as environmental factors. So it is said that if parents have allergy, the child is likely to have allergy because it will get the same genes. If one parent has allergy, say atopic dermatitis, there is a 40 to 50% chance of the child also having atopic dermatitis. If two parents, if both the parents have allergies, that is the atopic dermatitis, then the chance of a child having that allergy or atopic dermatitis increases to nearly 80%. So it's a genetic factor. It is a gene that is mutated and that causes. Then there are environmental factors also. So there are allergens. So just like in asthma and hay fever and allergic rhinitis, you have the same allergens that would also trigger atopic dermatitis, that is eczema. So you have the dust mites, the pollen, the pet hair, that is a pet dander, that can trigger the allergies. Then there are irritants in the atmosphere. So your child is already prone to atopic dermatitis, but then there are irritants that can aggravate those allergies. So irritants can be in the form of soaps or even laundry detergents or even fabrics. So if you make a child wear a woolen clothing or a polyester or synthetic clothing, that can aggravate the eczema. Even the weather, the kind of weather there is, can aggravate the eczema or can initiate the eczema. That is, the hot, the very cold and the dry weather can also initiate the eczema, as well as the hot and the dry weather can also cause. So any form of dry weather can initiate the eczema. Now there is one more thing. If the weather is humid, just a little bit humid, so the conditions are a little bit moist, the eczema is in control. But if the weather is hot and humid, so that the patient sweats a lot, again the eczema can be aggravated. So these can aggravate, and then these aggravating and relieving factors differ from baby to baby. But in general, these are the ones that can really aggravate the eczema.
Okay. Ma'am, can you explain, how can parents prevent eczema flare-ups in kids? So you mentioned different scenarios, whether it's they're living in a dry area, humid area.
Yeah.
What are the ways that they can, prevent this
Yeah.
in flaring up again?
Correct. So it is said the first and foremost thing is moisturizing. So if moisturization is done properly for the child right from the beginning, then that prevents the flare-ups of eczema. And second is the avoidance of allergens and irritants. Now it is said that if parents have eczema, because there is a chance that even the child can have eczema, the moisturizing the baby's skin should start right from early childhood. That is right from within a few days of birth. So you start with moisturizing immediately after a bath and also at bedtime. So twice daily moisturization is mandatory. It can even grow up to even 4 to 6 times a day as the condition demands. So it depends from baby to baby, but twice a day is absolutely essential. What is also essential is that when you bathe the baby, the first of all, bathing should not be very frequent. It should be just once a day or maximally twice a day. Second is the bathing should always be with a lukewarm water, not hot water, not cold water. The bathing time should also be limited to just around 5 to 10 minutes, never more than that. And as soon as the baby comes out of the bath, you just dab the baby with just a soft cotton cloth or a cotton towel. And while the skin is moist, apply your moisturizer generously from top to bottom. It should be not be rubbed actually. Generously does not mean it should be rubbed. It should be gently smoothed down over the skin in the downward direction. That is very, very essential. And then make your baby wear cotton clothes. Ideally avoid all kinds of polyester, synthetic clothing. Ideally avoid even woolen clothes. So if it's a cold weather, you may clothe your child with a cotton cloth first and then over it a layer of woolen cloth. Secondly, one more important thing is for the clothing, always remove the tags of the clothes. Those tags can be very irritating for the baby's skin. That can also initiate the eczema. So any tags on the inside should also be removed. And secondly, avoidance of all allergens as much as is possible. So avoidance of dust mites and pollens and smoke, any kind of smoke inside the house, be it mosquito repellent smoke or be it agarbatti smoke. Any kind of soft toys in the house that can gather dust and that can cause dust mite allergy. All these should be avoided. And the room temperature, always remember the room temperature, the ideally should be like, around say 18 to 25 degrees Celsius. So
Yeah.
in a car, we should not switch on the heater because that can dry your baby's skin. In the room, even when it's winters, if you switch on the heaters, again, it can dry out your baby's skin. So the conditions of the temperature should always be ambient. These are the main preventive measures. And
Ma'am,
it is said that, just a moment, it is said that if you moisturize regularly, consistently, even when the skin is healthy, even when the skin appears healthy, in a child who's prone to atopic eczema, then he would have no flare ups at all or minimal flare ups.
wow. That is just something we didn't really know in detail.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for telling that. Ma'am, right now, whatever questions we've covered are for parents whose kids have been diagnosed with eczema. So, if a parent who's a new parent, and how can they tell that their baby's skin has eczema, or whether it's another skin problem that needs
Yeah.
attention, like a rash?
Okay. So with eczema, the baby starts within just a few days of birth, most of the times. And it starts on the cheek. So there is dryness. You see red bumps on the skin. That mostly is eczema. If also there is a family history that the parents also have some kind of allergy. So the skin would appear red and itchy. And it will mostly be concentrated on the cheeks, the forehead, the scalp, but as the child grows, obviously, as I mentioned earlier, the areas covered would be by eczema would be the back of the elbows and the front of the knees. And as the child further grows into toddlerhood and beyond, the folds of the skin would also be covered with eczematous rashes. So the front of the elbows, the back of the knees, the front of the ankles and the wrist, all these would have red itchy skin. Itchiness is the main criterion. If the skin is itchy, if the redness persists for long, and if there is a family history of some kind of allergy, be it food allergy, be it allergic rhinitis or asthma or even eczema, then there is a high chance that your baby has these symptoms which are of atopic dermatitis.
Okay. What treatments are safe for babies with eczema, and when should parents go to a doctor?
So again, the preventive measures, avoidance of allergens and irritants, and secondly, moisturization. That is the key preventive measure. If you keep on moisturizing regularly on a daily basis, twice a day, and the bathing routine that I just described, if you follow this regularly, then obviously you might not need a doctor at all. Sometimes it can happen that way as well. And sometimes if there are flare-ups, so if you feel that the skin is becoming more red, or the itchiness and the redness is not subsiding even with the daily moisturizer application, then you would, or if there is oozing or crusting of yellow fluid, then you would need to visit a doctor, because a doctor would advise you with the right kind of anti-inflammatory treatment that needs to be given. So again, the doctors also provide you with a home eczema treatment plan. So if there is a child who's more prone to flare-ups repeatedly, recurrently, then the doctor would provide you with a cream. So that would need to be applied whenever you feel that there is a flare-up. And if it does not subside within say 3 to 4 days of application of that treatment, obviously you would need to rush to the doctor so that it does not flare up even much more.
Okay. Ma'am, I'm just, there are a lot of people who've joined us, and
Yeah.
some of them have actually asked questions.
Yeah.
So just give me a minute. I'm just going to read out a few.
Sure.
Someone has asked, can we do oiling to a baby, some with kids who have eczema?
Yeah.
What about oiling?
Yeah, so oiling can be done, but again, it should not be rubbed. The moment you rub the skin, you disrupt the barrier of the skin,
Yeah.
right? You disrupt the skin, and that can cause damage to the skin. That can take away the moisture from the skin as well as allow the entry of allergens. So you can rub in coconut oil or whatever bath oil that you are recommended on the skin, but smoothen it gently on the skin. So that oiling also acts as an occlusive, in the sense it protects your skin from further entry of allergens and evaporation of moisture from the skin. So you can do oiling, but again, oiling should be the oil should be gently applied. And secondly, जो India में लगाते हैं, बेसन लगाते हैं, लोई लगाते हैं, that should not be done because that again disrupts the skin barrier.
Ma'am, someone has asked a question. What is the difference between lotions and creams and ointments when it comes to eczema?
Okay, so any normal person who does not have any of these allergic conditions and who does not have much dry skin can apply a lotion. But for people with eczema, they have dry skin. So they need something that has a good moisture content, the moisturizing effect. So a lotion has more of water and a little less of oil, while a cream has more of oil and less of water. An ointment is much more than that, even better than cream, in the sense it has much more oil and less of hardly any of water. So if you have eczema, it's best that you apply a cream instead of a lotion, because the more water content is there in a particular lotion, the more it evaporates and it worsens the dryness. But if it's a cream with a more of oil content, it actually provides a good barrier to the skin. It provides also a long-term protection to the skin with its barrier effect, and that is why a cream is always better. And for adults who actually have dry skin, who also have thickened skin because of eczema, they would need ointment. But because ointments are greasy, more of oil content, they are generally applied only at night.
And another mother has asked a question. What foods should be avoided to prevent flare-ups?
So there is no so see, food allergies are there, but they are not so common. So again, if you noticed that there is a flare-up following a particular food, that needs to be avoided. But if you haven't noticed any such things, ideally no food should be avoided, because that would lead to nutritional deficiencies also in your child. So, but the common foods that can cause flare-ups are like the dairy can cause flare-ups, the eggs, the soya protein, the seafoods can cause flare-ups. But if there is no proven this thing that your child would definitely have flare-ups with this. If you notice a trend that every time my child has this food, there definitely is a flare-up. Then obviously you need to avoid that food. Otherwise, no.
Ma'am, Shagun is also asking, do we need to eliminate milk from the baby's diet?
No, not at all, not at all. Unless there is a proven allergy to milk. If there is a proven allergy, you may need to avoid milk, and then there are other hydrolyzed formulas that are available that can be given because the child is allergic to milk. But if there is no proven allergy, if you feel that no, my child does not get a rash every time he has milk, then there is no need to avoid milk. But if you feel that in spite of all the treatment measures that you are applying to your child, in spite of that, the rash is not getting better, and it is said that and it's proven that it's eczema, then you may try to avoid that particular food, that is milk probably in your case, and then you can watch over your child for the next few days whether the eczema symptoms are improving. If there is an improvement, obviously then you need to avoid, but then you need to give other supplements which are equivalent to milk, which would be rich in calcium and protein.
Okay. Ma'am, another mother has asked a question. Hi, my baby is itching a lot. Her skin has bumps and she's itching near her legs. So I think she's talking about when eggs.
So that can be in this season. It can be because of the mosquito bites also. So one has to see the rash. Only then one can know whether it's eczema or it's just insect bite. The most common condition which causes rash in the lower legs in this season, particularly in children, is the insect bites.
Okay. I'm just gonna go through one. Oh yeah. Okay. Someone has asked, is it okay? Okay, so that's not a question that is related to eczema at this point. Anyone else, guys, who has any questions, please feel free to put it down in the comments below. Okay, ma'am, one more question is, what are emollients?
Emollients again are moisturizers. So it can be lotions, it can be creams or ointments. So as I described, the one with the more oil content is known as the ointment. The one with a little bit of lesser oil content is the cream, and the one with very less oil is the lotion. So these are emollients. So emollients would be best described as having more of oil, less of water so that it moisturizes your baby properly. Someone is asking how can we prevent the drool dermatitis, the eczema that is caused because of the drool. So for this, you need to apply a good moisturizer frequently around the child's mouth. And as soon as the baby has food or milk, just wipe it with a wet cloth and again reapply the moisturizer liberally. So that can help prevent the drool dermatitis.
Pooja Rawal is asking a question. Ma'am, I have atopic dermatitis. How can I prevent passing it on to my
There
daughter?
is no way of prevention because in the sense the genes are there. You would be passing on the same genes to your child. So obviously there is no way you can prevent passing on the gene. But again, this moisturization works. If you start moisturizing your baby with a good moisturizer from a good company, then obviously and those moisturizers should always be without fragrance. Always remember that, without any added chemicals. So and preferably preferably with ceramides. There is a content called ceramide. If there are ceramides available in that moisturizer, it will help your baby a lot.
Ma'am, Namujit is asking a question. My baby has atopic dermatitis when she was 1 month old and the symptoms have vanished, but right now her skin is quite rough. Can you suggest some remedies?
Again, moisturizing. Even when the skin appears normal, you have to keep on moisturizing at least twice a day. If needed, thrice or 4 times or even 6 times a day. That is as per the need of your baby. But you need to moisturize even when your skin appears normal. Because eczema is a condition that can last lifelong. It is not something that's going to get cured. You can at the most control it. It may not occur after some years, that's a different thing. But it does not mean that you've cured. It can flare up at any time. So if you keep on applying a good moisturizer on a regular basis, obviously you will prevent the flare-ups.
Ma'am, Shagun has a question. What can be done to minimize itching on scalp? So I think she also asked the same question where her kid had atopic dermatitis.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming now the kid is having itching on the scalp area.
Okay, so again, a good shampoo that has a good oil content. So you need to apply oil first for gentle conditioning. Then you give a shampoo bath to your child. That prevents, and shampoo should be done on a regular basis with a good shampoo. If you do that on a regular basis, obviously it will prevent the itching. Now there are many parents who also are in India particularly, they cetirizine de dete from available from the pharmacy. They don't even go to a doctor. So actually antihistaminics are not that good a cure for eczema. Only if your child is itching severely, you can give a sedating antihistaminic. In the sense, cetirizine is something that would not sedate your child. And if your child has more of itching at night, that is, the cetirizine would not be working very efficiently. Instead, you should give a antihistaminic that sedates also your child so that there will be less itching.
Another mother has asked a question. Moksha is saying, my son also has the same thing. He's 5 years old and his skin is extremely dry.
Again, the same thing. Moisturizer. That's
I think
it. Nothing else.
we learned a lot about moisturizing today.
Yeah, it is just about moisturization.
Yes. I think we've covered all the questions. Ma'am, thank you so much. It was genuinely a pleasure having you today. And you've really, really explained everything in detail and answered all the queries that we've had. And, you know, I'm genuinely very happy from the bottom of my heart. And I'm sure the mothers who've joined us today are also very relieved after hearing all these things. And thank you so much. And I'm really looking forward to having you again on Navino Baby India to answer more questions.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you everyone who's joined us today. It was a pleasure having you all. I hope we've covered all your questions. If you have more questions for Doctor, please feel free to post it in the comments once the live is ended. And we'll obviously reach out to ma'am and get them answered for you. Sure. Thank you so much. And please follow the page. Thank you everyone. Thank you ma'am.
Bye.
Bye-bye.